Okay. Any questions about owl turns head before we do some owls? No? This one, I used to think this was the easy one. And I'm just turning my head. And it can be, but you'll get better mileage from it if you really ask it from your legs, just so one more posture. Like just stay level in the legs. So
that's my problem. You kind of lose the legs.
That's normal. You mean you kind of come up out of it?
Yeah, kind of come up out of it.
Yeah. That's, what is it? Awareness is the first step.
You know, normal. I hate that.
I know. But, so, even though the rotation is happening here, if you are connected and with experience and practice over years, I don't mean over like, by next week you'll get this, I don't mean that. You can start to tune in and maybe even feel a little bit of connection in the outside edges of the feet on this one. I'm not throwing that down as a gauntlet, like, get it! It's just, it takes time, but it isn't just about here. It's by the alignment and the stillness and the connectedness. And paying attention, being mindful. As I turn, like, I'm tight through here. I actually just saw a client before here, so my upper body is tight anyway. But so just by rotating my pinkies out here and sinking and lifting, I already feel a pull through my pinkies. And as I start to rotate, I feel it more pronounced. And there we go. I feel a little bit in the outside edge of this foot. Very subtle. It's not going to be really loud. Everyone here has a pretty good sense of it. What happens a lot of times is this will happen. See what happened to my chin? So now I don't want to pencil neck, squeeze it in and make it tight, but I want to lift through my crown, head suspended, and keep that. So it's almost like a continued lifting. I have to tell myself to lift more as I turn, because what naturally wants to happen is this. Yeah, I feel it on that foot. Just try a couple.
So in one sense, the twisting motion kind of translates all the way down.
Absolutely. So it's like it's almost like squeezing a wash rag. And instead of compressing while you twist, it's actually a little bit of an extending and reaching while you twist. We'll do story time while we.
All 5 pages. I'm going through this, past the stuff that isn't different. Place both hands on the hips while the arms are kept grounded. Suspend the head. Breathing should be relaxed, continuous, and deep during this exercise. Begin to slowly rotate the head to the right. Continue the rotation while keeping the torso and the hips facing forward. The head should be kept in the same horizontal plane throughout the rotation, which keeps the neck vertical. At the furthest limit of rotation, hold for 8 to 10 seconds. Maintain a continuous stretching of the twisted neck at this point. Slowly rotate the head back to the center. And then it just says repeat through the center and to the other side. Repeat the entire sequence up to 3 more times. And then his notes on this, although this movement appears very simple, its subtlety is typical of the Nei Kung system. When analyzed on one level, for instance, it works on stretching the entire network of tendons throughout the body. Branches reach down the underside of the arms through the palms to the fingertips. Likewise with the legs. All are connected through the back along the spine, which is exactly what Mr. Watkins just said, which is being stretched and twisted the way you might wring out a wet washcloth. kind of easy to let the feet come out of the alignment, but it's really difficult to feel that connected, like, tension through the whole body if the feet, this basically like lets the slack out. So those toes turned in, outside edges of the feet parallel business is key.
Somehow I really gotta resist the temptation
To rotate.
to rotate the whole body.
Yeah, so don't.
No,
Yeah, so it's by keeping it still, and it's okay if your neck only turns to here. That's okay. It's by going to that point, and if that's all you've got, then look a little bit more with your eyes, and you'll gradually increase that range of motion. Obviously, if anybody's got something, I don't think anyone here has it, but you know, you got a vertebral fusions or anything like that, this is going to affect how far you're able to rotate. Don't force that. Like, if you have a structural thing, you know, this is not the time to plow past that. Come on, see 5, 6, and 7. Just no, don't do it. That's your range. Good. Kind of lost your toes. Go back a little bit. You were here and then you started moving back just a little bit, so keep upright. Yeah.
I started out with it.
I don't know, we change. We make little micro shifts that we don't even know about. Finish the one that you're on and we'll come out of owl. Any questions or anything that you noticed or that different or
It's harder than it looks.
harder than it looks? I'm sorry, but yeah.
Isn't that true of everything?
Totally, yes. And this one in particular, I'm just turning my head. Yeah, would it where you just be turning your head? It's not that. Just a side note, LCK2 note, this can be helpful with tension headaches. Your suboccipital muscles are back here, which are prime suspects in a lot of tension headaches. And then so those are here, and then a little bit higher and further in are where your optic muscles connect. So if you're really subtle, probably now's not the time to try it, but if you lightly, very lightly put your finger on the scalp, you may or may not be able to feel it, but if you're still and you rotate your eyes, you may feel a little bit, it's not going to be like flexing a bicep, but there's you can feel a little bit of change back there. That one blew my mind in anatomy class. I'm like, to the back of your head? So that explains why we have a tension headache. Sometimes you get it here behind your eyes is because you're tight here and it's pulling on those. So a bonus from this one, which isn't necessarily part of Nei Kung, but you know, by rotating and then rolling your eyes a little bit, you can relax those muscles a little bit. It may not totally get rid of your headache, but it has cured mine a couple of times, or at least taken it down a couple of notches. So I love me some towards head. And we are also forward head syndrome in our lives. Everything we do is out here. You know, with computers, we're driving, so we do this, and this helps to lift that and counteract the effects of our daily living. Forward head syndrome is nasty business, and we all have it. Okay, maybe not everybody, but most people. Any questions before we bow out? Owl's one of my favorites. It's soothing, it engages my muscles, but it also helps release the tension that I've got in my neck and my shoulders. So I like the owl. All right, let's bow out. Life skills. Last week of snake. Path of self-mastery requires persistent action. Persistent action achieves the goal without quitting. Path of self-mastery requires persistent action. Persistent action achieves the goal without quitting. Path of self-mastery requires persistent action. Persistent action achieves the goal without quitting.
Oh, the head instructor.
Bow to
students at home, get a drink, take